to make sure that you use the bulldozers as you have requested to make sure that council would not expend money. Is that not your original idea?
Yes,
So it will not be correct to say that the bulldozer was there for just 3 months. It is more than 3 months. It was stuck on that place more than
not 3 years though.
How many years?
I cannot remember. I don't think it's
so
a year.
I am telling you.
It's not an year. Whoever tells you will not tell you anything beyond my understanding because they were directly under me.
Okay. So
yes.
For how long? No, I just want to know the duration.
You see, the duration, that's what may be.
Yes.
I may be faulty by 2 months or 1 month, but it's not 3 years.
So, but what can you remember? Was it 1 year or 2 years?
It's less than an year.
It's less than 1 year?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So you may proceed.
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, so we are talking about the repair of this D9. Now, what was the problem with this bulldozer D9 that would warrant it for you to travel to Dakar and to purchase spare parts?
There are many reasons, but my own reason is I don't think we have qualified mechanics here.
Yes.
And the right workshops to maintenance those bulldozers.
Now
that's one of my main reasons.
And the others are?
The others are spare parts.
Yes.
I want to use the original Caterpillar spare parts.
Yes.
Without any middleman, to go to Senegal, Dakar,
yes,
to their main office, give them the list of the parts I need, and let it be original. Because my fear is they will bring me some, or they may not be originals.
Now, what was wrong with D9?
As I said,
what is the mechanical issue? To be more specific.
I cannot be very specific as I'm not as an engineer, but it's not operational, which is vividly clear to all of us.
So you're not an engineer?
No.
So was there an engineer that examined
yes,
this truck?
Our in-house engineer
yes,
recommend that it has to be overhauled. Whatever that means, it has to be certain parts, rings and other parts should be out and replace new ones.
And who is this engineer, in-house engineer?
Buba Kujabi.
Buba Kujabi. Did he provide a report as to the state of the D9 bulldozer?
I cannot remember. I did not request any report, nor can I remember whoever requested, but that was his professional advice to me.
To you?
Yes.
And you had to request for finance for it to be repaired?
I had to request for both to be
yes,
maintenance.
for both?
Yes, both the D8 and D9.
Yes, but
and
go ahead. Go ahead.
When I made that request,
yes,
I said if the request is being approved, myself, Buba Kujabi, the procurement officer, should travel to Senegal.
Yes. You said that in your request.
I made a request. You know, I don't write any request. I'm not supposed to write a request. I only inform.
You don't write request?
No.
No, Mr. Kanye, that would not be a very correct statement. You have written several requests. You have seen evidence of requests that you have written.
Yes, technical requests such like this, I don't. If it is something personal to myself, i.e., I want this thing,
Again, again, that will not be correct because there are requests that you have written or you wrote that are technical, that are not personal to yourself.
Maybe I signed them. You are right. You can say that because that's the one you have seen. You are right. But I don't have even a smartphone in those days to do it. I will ask somebody in the office, especially my line manager,
Yes.
to write it on my behalf.
And then you sign.
Then I will sign.
Yes, so
It may happen.
yes, so that statement, writing on your behalf, means you writing.
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
I agree with you technically.
Yes, absolutely. So my issue, or what I want you to clarify, is with regards to how you arrive at the decision that there are mechanical problems for D9, what these problems were, what need to be done, how much you need to purchase the said repair, and any other incidental cost thereto. Can
If you
explain
take
that?
it one by one, I'll answer all the questions as they come in. But
Okay,
as for me,
Yes.
I'm not an engineer.
right,
But if a machine like bulldozer
yes,
has taken water for 3 or more months,
yes,
even if you take it out, it doesn't need to be a rocket science
Yes.
or even a qualified mechanic.
yes,
You will know that that machine is not going to work.
yes,
I don't know the problems. I don't know the names of the parts.
yes,
So that's where I use our line engineer because he's the very one who I went with to Kanilai to get these machines. So he may not be a mechanic for these machines, but he knows a lot about machines.
Now, did you work with any other mechanic or any other company in trying to solve the service of this D9 bulldozer?
My experience told me that is known, and I didn't bother much. I keep trying, only seeing if I can get experts from even Europe or anywhere who can diagnose these two engines and tell me exactly what they are. But it proves very difficult and costly.
Mr. Kanye, do you recall Unco Land Construction and Trading Enterprise?
Okay, Ngolan, the owner or the person who is the shareholder, I don't know who is it, but he is the one who has been my brother for quite a long time, not biological,
Yes,
but I know him for quite a long time, even when I was young.
yes,
I confined my frustration to him because I knew he was in the business of these machines.
you
I
knew
said,
he was in the business of these machines?
No, he's a contractor with heavy machines. He does his job.
Okay,
So I said, if you see a good mechanic
yes,
of your choice and good one,
yes,
let me know it. So when he contacted this guy, I don't know him from anywhere.
yes,
He informed me of it, and I said, okay, go and ask him to go and see the machines before we even sit down and talk.
yes,
If he can repair them, let me know the cost and the formalities or the method in which he's going to apply to get
was
them.
that done?
Yes, he's the one who said, I cannot work them here.
Yes,
I have to go to my workshop and work them out.
yes, please proceed.
And I said, okay. But I also told him, whatever your price of payment is going to be attached to two things.
Yes,
One, the parts.
the parts,
The parts.
yes,
You are going to list down all the parts for us,
yes,
but you will not buy them.
but?
You will not buy them.
Okay, why is that?
As I have said, I'm scared of him using worn-out parts or non-original parts.
or perhaps overpricing these parts?
Maybe, yes. So I said no. And two, I'll only pay half of your numeration, whatever. And after completing and making all those two engines working with my own eyes, then I pay you the balance.
Yes. Was that done?
Half done.
What do you mean by that?
After making all the engines, I transport it at my own cost, at the cost of K.M.C. though, to take the parts or the engine, the two engine on a lorry which had a winch, special lorry, because these Caterpillar machines cannot be lifted by hand.
Yes.
So I had to pay the cost to and fro of those things.
All right.
And I arrived the same evening when the machine arrived, because I want to be there when the machine arrived. From here to Chess. And I remember he went a day before me.
That is the mechanic?
Huh?
Is that the mechanic?
No, the machines.
No, I heard you say he went before me.
Oh,
so.
I said, sorry. The machine went a day before I traveled
Okay.
to Dhaka, or to Chess.
Yes.
What I did was the machine went, but then I did not know that they have to have this, what they call laissez-passer, I think.
Yes.
And I was called that we have to get a laissez-passer. It was in the evening. So I had to call one of the legal person to find out how he can get laissez-passer for me, for those engines. He draft the thing, and luckily we got it. And then the machines arrived after my arrival.
In Chess?
I was in Chess when the machines arrived. And I told the guy, I will pay you only in Chess, half of the money. The other half is when you collect them here, take it back to the Gambia, I pay you the balance.
Okay.
Which I did.
Do you have receipts of this?
I handed every receipt in its original shape or form.
Two?
And, excuse me,
Yes.
and the worn out parts which were changed from those machines. All packed, because I have no other job
Yes.
for the whole of that week, only to my hotel room, to the garage. That's
Yes.
where I take my lunch. Breakfast is bed and breakfast. I eat and go. And I start the work as soon as I arrive, and that's it.
Yes. So who did you hand over these receipts to?
At the time, it was me and my driver. We went to the stores, K.M.C. stores, and hand over all this.
Who
I
is
can't
the question?
remember. I cannot remember.
No,
But I know,
Mr. Khan,
I cannot remember the name.
you don't hand over receipts to the store or the storekeeper. That's not the process.
I am not, as I've said, I am not very acquainted with who should have this thing. I know for sure. The receipt went back to the accounts or whatever. But I know for sure the parts, which are very important to me at the time.
Both the parts and the receipt.
Well, I know the receipts are very important. That's why I kept them.
More than the parts.
That's why I kept them. I kept them and I handed over.
More than the parts, the receipts are more important than the
I'm
parts.
not denying that, sir.
Now,
I don't think I answer your question.
Yes.
And I think that's okay. I
Yes.
cannot remember.
Now, you have been given so many contracts or consultancy contracts.
Sorry, let me
Please,
just come.
please proceed.
Mr. Kanye, I have noted the fact that we are all human, and there is possibility that we cannot remember. But I am asking you the question. You said you have taken these materials to the store, and as at the time you took these materials to the store, you handed it over to a person, right?
Yes.
So I believe that you can remember. And who
I
was the
cannot.
person? You cannot?
That's the irony of the situation. I cannot remember. I wish I could. I have no bone to be sitting here grilled about remembering a name or so. But if I don't, honestly speaking, I don't.
But
And
did
the
you,
commissioners,
did you remember who was the finance director at the time that you came back from the
I
repair?
cannot remember.
You cannot remember
I
also
cannot
that.
remember the finance director at the time. I cannot even remember who was then the CEO, because so many CEOs has changed hands. One time is acting, another time is CEO.
Now, did you also, when you were handing over, can you recall when you handed over to any person that you couldn't remember, did you recall signing any document?
No, because to those people, that was not even needed. But to me, with my thinking, I think it was prudent for me to not to allow the Senegalese mechanic even to take those parts, because my fear was he may take out non-worn out parts just for us to buy a new part. And
So that is why, Mr. Kanye, I am asking whether also when you were handing it over, I understand your belief system that you wanted these parts because of the attitudes of mechanics. But didn't you think it was also prudent when you were handing it over to have made sure that the person you are handing over these parts to, whether they are good or bad, it is noted for you to keep for reference? Because as you said, you are not sure whether what was removed in the bulldozer was the old part, a correct part, or a wrong part. What you succeeded in doing is to get new parts to replace what you were told. Is that not the case?
no, that's not the case. I
Okay.
was pretty sure
Yes,
the new parts were put into the machine.
yes,
And I was pretty sure
Yes.
I took out the part that they took from my machine.
yes. That is what you brought.
That's what I brought.
Yes. So now, you have earlier said that you wanted to bring the parts because you are not sure whether they might even put in,
No.
remove parts that are good.
Yes.
So that is why you wanted to make sure that
Yes.
everything they remove, you bring it.
Yes.
So my question is, didn't you think it was prudent for you to have listed what you have handed over?
Maybe.
Just for posterity, to show
Maybe-
that they said this was what was wrong, and this is what they removed, this is what I have brought back to you.
Chairwoman,
Yes, please.
with all honesty,
Yes.
I do not think at the time, because I thought that was my comfort zone.
Okay.
It is in KMC.
That is understandable. But
and it is
I-
in
I-
KMC's hand. I brought these things,
Yes.
and I told the person, whoever I handed over, keep these things because they may ask for it.
Yes, they may ask for it. That is why I am asking. I am
Yes.
saying that, don't you think it would have been prudent because you handed them over in good faith? The person you hand over to can decide to take them and sell them without your knowledge. So if you do not have a record of showing what you have handed over, it's your word against their word.
Yes, but it's not going to be only my word against their word, because
Yes.
I have a witness, which is my driver was there
Okay.
when I was handing over all these
And how
things.
many parts did you hand over to
I
the...
cannot remember. There are so many small paper parts,
So, but this
rings.
this is the problem now, Mr. Kanye. You cannot remember, and we cannot ascertain. Because if you cannot remember, I will find it difficult to examine your driver to remember the details, because it is not written. My bit is that, don't you think it would have been prudent for you to have listed what you hand over to these people and keep a copy for yourself for reference?
Honestly, that is right, but
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Kanye, when you were asked about the receipt, you said you went to the store and gave it to.
yes,
Did you give it to the storekeeper?
I cannot remember. You can go around the question because I don't know who is even at the time a storekeeper. But I know I went to the store, which I know of, and hand over whoever was there to say, these are the parts I took from.
Your
Senator.
statement of the 24th of May 2023, you were asked about this and then you commented or you wrote about this particular receipt. Now, when you turn to the second page of the statement, the fourth paragraph, you said, I spent 7 days in Senegal for the mission and later returned to the Gambia with the machines on escort. Having arrived in the Gambia, I delivered the payment receipts of the purchase parts to accounts office, not the store, accounts office, and also delivered the worn out or damaged parts of the machines to the mechanic department in the presence of Bubakar Kujabi. I could understand that the council deposited the money to the bank account of Bubakar Kinte, which funds I received. So now, you had said clearly that you had taken these tickets to the accounts department, not the store.
That may be an error of your thinking, or I thought I took all of them.
You thought?
I thought I took all the return things, the receipt and this thing, to stores.
Yes.
But if you said I've returned them, or on my statement I returned them to account, maybe that's why.
So which one is correct? These two?
As for me, I believe I took them and handed over to the right offices.
To the right office?
Yes.
Which is?
Which can be accounts and stores.
Which can be accounts and stores.
Yes.
Do you know the process of retirement?
The what?
The retirement. Retirement of funds given to you.
I did not retire any physical cars. I bought 2 oil engines.
Do you know what retirement is? If you're given monies like finance or say interest or petty cash, do you know the process of retirement?
I know retirement is the money that I don't use whilst I was away.
Yes.
But I was not giving any interest or night allowance.
But you were given money.
I wasn't giving money. I was giving money solely for the parts.
That is the purpose. You were
Yes.
given money and you had to account for it.
Yes, and that's what I returned the receipts to.
And you can't tell anyone where you've returned it to.
Well, I have said it now.
And you don't have copies of those receipts here.
I do not have them because I only hand over them.
And no one can ever know whether you spent exactly what you've asked for. No one can ever know whether you subtracted or minus part of the money and spent it for your own personal use, Mr. Kani. No one would ever know.
Well, if those who want to know will know it.
Everyone wants to know.
Everyone
Mr.
wants
Mr.
to
Kanye,
know.
Mr. Kanye,
And
everyone wants
that's
to
why
know.
I return.
Hear me out. Hear me
Hear
out.
me out.
Listen to me.
Mr. Kanye,
Listen to me.
I'm waiting.
Mr. Kanye,
Yes.
can you please observe decorum?
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Kanye, the commission wants to know
Yes.
how you spent that money. In fact, by the way, how much did you receive?
I cannot vividly remember how much.
Mr. Kanye, if you can't remember anything, why take up a job?
Why?
Why take up consultancy jobs and contracts with the council? If you know you cannot remember anything, why take up these kind of jobs with council and be paid a lot of money that you can remember? The monies that you are paid you can remember, but when it's time for accountability, you cannot remember anything.
That's not right.
That is correct.
That's not correct.
Because Mr. Kanye,
That is not correct. If that is correct, I wouldn't hand over those receipts, because the people who have the receipts will know exactly how much they gave me.
you had received $1,066,280
Yes,
for a supposedly
yes,
repairing of D8
yes,
and D9.
yes.
And you can't account for it?
I can.
And you think it is okay? You think it is okay that you can sit here and conveniently say you cannot remember anything, and therefore it's okay, and everyone should take it when you have received public funds? That would not happen. Mr. Kanye.
Council, let me tell you something. I remember a lot. I don't remember a lot because time constraint. And secondly, I do not envy, say, to be sitting in front of you or anybody here
True.
to be asked for this.
Yes.
But I also know, honestly speaking, yes, you can insinuate that I took part of the money and spent it on my personal bill. I wouldn't. I was offered personal money to do some things which I refused, which
Mr.
are
Kanye,
bigger than this.
we don't have evidence of that.
I do have.
What we have evidence of is you have been receiving monies in your service to the public, and you have to account for it. If you had known that you were not in the right capacity or mental state of mind or physical state of mind physical state to execute your public functions, you should not have taken that job. So if you had taken the job, it is just right and proper that you must account for every dollar. And I guarantee you, you will. Trust me, you will account for it, because if you do not tell the commission how you spend these monies, we as lawyers, our advice would be that you must be accountable and you must pay for all those monies. So do yourself a favor and give us all the evidence that we need. Let me ask you another question, Mr. Kanye.
Can I respond?
Yes, Mr. Kanye, you can go ahead.
Of course, when I took this thing, I was with the ability and the thinking that I can do whatever they assign me to do. And I'll do it to the best of my ability and my knowledge. I took so many care of these things and these machines, not because of K.M.C. or myself, but for the nation, because I know what they did. These two machines help everybody in the Gambia, whoever is connected, to know that the bulldozers had a very good effect at the dome site.
Yes.
And fire was becoming a history.
Yes. Mr. Kanye, let's proceed to other issues.
Enough for me.
Let's proceed to other issues. I'm sure you have kind intentions, very genuine ones for this country.
I don't need to.
Most people do.
I don't need to tell you a story of this country because I don't know it.
Mr. Kanye, my next question is in relation to how you received these monies. How were you paid this money?
Because the monies were paid to the guy who introduced me to these Senegalese. On the basis of him and myself would have traveled without handing over the cash to the Senegalese.
How was the payment done? From council, 1 million plus was paid. Who was it paid to directly? Was it paid to you directly? Was it paid to someone else? And then
it was paid to that guy I was talking to you about.
What is the name of the guy?
The man's name, I can remember that. That's Bokar Kinte because I know him for quite a long time.
Bubakar
Kinte.
Kinte. He owns Unkoland.
Yes.
And he paid you the money?
He was very sick in the hospital bed.
Yes.
At the time, I even visited him
Yes.
prior to our arrangement of going.
Yes.
I went to see him to tell him we are supposed to go,
Yes.
but found him on his bed, lying. He couldn't even get up. And I said, unfortunately, we have to go to Senegal because tomorrow the machines will arrive.
Yes.
He said, as you can see me, I cannot even move.
Correct.
I'll give you my check, you withdraw the money and go with it. And that's how I withdrew all the money, change them because I'm not very acquainted with the Senegalese saver. So I took that checks, I don't know, 1 or 2 checks, I can't remember, and cashed all of it, one by myself, one by my driver, to go and change the money to safer.
So, to get the facts right, the area council paid Unkoland Construction, a company that is set up to do construction business, not mechanical repairs. It's not a mechanical shop. But you can correct me as well. They paid Unkoland, and Unkoland paid you all the money, and you had to travel to Dakar, to Senegal. Correct?
Not actually correct.
Okay, which part is wrong?
The part you are saying, I did not say he's a contractor for building or anything. He introduced me to the mechanic, and I thought he will go along with me. He deals with big machines. I thought we were going together.
He does not deal with big machines. If you say he deals with big machines, that may be a misinformation. You know why? Because Unkoland is a company. Is that not correct? It is a business, it's a company.
It's a business, it's a company, but it is not also right to say he doesn't deal with machines. I've seen him dealing with machines.
Now, the company, Unkoland Company, is a business. What does the business do?
It can be a lot.
It can be a lot, is not a definitive answer. Now, what business, you were the one who introduced Unkoland to the area council. In what business does Unkoland do?
I know he does construction of road.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
I've seen him inside the machine.
Yes.
With the driver.
Yes.
And I've seen him.
Does the company deal in any form of mechanical work?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm now saying it. I'm now asking you a question. Does the company?
I didn't say that he does it.
And now I'm asking you.
Mr. Kanye, can you please answer the question?
I don't.
You don't know?
No.
Now I'm telling you now that Unkoland does not deal in any form of mechanical services.
Yes, I cannot deny that.
Yes.
But what I said, I did not say that he does.
So the company Unkoland was not
Let me finish.
Go ahead. Proceed.
I think it's prudent for all of us to listen to each
I've
other.
always done that. Proceed.
No, you've not.
Proceed.
But whatever happened, let me tell you, I did not tell anybody in this commission or outside that Ngolan or Bokar Kente is a mechanic. I know Bokar Kente 35 years ago.
Yes.
I've never seen him doing that.
Yes.
But I know he deals with people who deals in these big machines.
Yes.
And that's where I ask him,
Yes.
if you have
Yes.
anybody who is competent,
Yes.
good, can you introduce me to them?
We had that evidence.
And that's what I did.
We had that evidence. Do you understand? We had that evidence. What needs to come out, what I want to put to you, that you can always react to, is that there appears to have been a fraudulent scheme. And let me tell you why. Unkolan, or Unkolan, however you pronounce it, is a construction company. But payments were made to Unkolan's account, which you subsequently withdrew and traveled to Senegal. Now, in the first place, it's even wrong, and you can react to that, to even pay monies to Unkolan as a construction company when they don't deal in any form of machinery or mechanical services. It's totally wrong.
It is being wrong or right, I will not dispute with you, because the legalities you understand about it, and the way I think about it are quite two different. You're only thinking about the legalities. I'm thinking about how to make these machines better. That's the only concept.
So, Mr. Kani, everything has to be based on legality. When you or anyone is tasked with the responsibility of any public office or any public funds, there are procedures that you must follow. And those procedures, they have to be followed. They must be followed. It's primarily important as well, Mr. Kani, because invoices were issued in the name of Unkolan for mechanical services. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Invoices were issued in the name of Unkolan trying to justify payment when they have no experience, when the company does not do that. So how do you explain that?
As I've said earlier on, my basis of introducing Bokar Kende or Ungolan was based only on one factor. The factor being introducing a competent mechanic to me. That's all. That was my goal, that was my aim, and it was sincere, and that's what I want.
Mr. Kani, it doesn't appear to be sincere.
Well, it's an opinion of yours.
And which is very important. It carries weight. It does not appear to be sincere because you can only discredit what we have as lawyers here, which you are supposed to do, which we will welcome, if you have evidence. If you don't have evidence, it's going to be difficult. Because we have evidence that you have received money. But you don't have evidence of how you spend the money. I'm sorry. Do you see the point? Why it is important?
No, I did not see any point in that, because it's only when you want to see something, you will see it as it is.
Yes.
Somebody else can see it in a different way.
Let me ask you a direct question. Do you have evidence of retirement of this amount? Do you have evidence of retirement of this amount? Of the money that was given to you?
The amount?
Yes. Do you have evidence of retirement of the $1 million plus that was given to you in the name of repairing these bulldozers?
I do not retire any amount of money.
Do you have evidence of receipts of purchase of these spare parts?
I have them hand over to them.
Do you have evidence of the person, individual, or that you have handed over this?
I cannot remember them.
Yes.
But it's K.M.C, and I know they got it.
That's my point.
I know they got it, and I can testify that either accounts or stores, they definitely told me they received it. And I know they received it.
Was there an expert assessment by an engineer or mechanical engineer, you call it, to tell or inform you as the consultant what is specifically wrong with these bulldozers, so that you know what you really need to fix it?
I've said it once, and if you want me to repeat it, I would. My only problem was they were not working.
They were not?
They are not working.
Yes.
One has been in water, one has another problem, they cannot walk. So I was not interested to know the technical terms of these bulldozer machines, which I've never dealt with.
So is the answer no? There were no
I told
expert
you,
assessment?
I told you the in-house engineer
Is the answer yes or no?
is between the two.
Between yes or no, what do you have?
Nothing.
Yes. So the answer is nothing.
Yes.
Yes. The answer is nothing because you don't have nothing.
I don't know.
Yes, you don't have nothing. That's why it's between the two.
I cannot say yes or no
You've
because I
answered-
do not know.
You have answered the question.
But
You see?
I've also answered it by telling you that it's not working.
No, you see, Mr.
The
Kanye,
machine is not working.
Mr. Kanye, we got that.
If you give me a bicycle today and there is no chain, I will say there is no chain. Even
Now-
if there is no chain.
Now, let's move past that. Let's move past that. That point is clear. It's very clear that you can't provide evidence. Now, the other issue is in relation to the dump site still. We will come back to this D8, D9. We will hear other witnesses. We have vouchers here, and then we'll have to call you back specifically again for this D8, D9. But when it comes to fuel, for example, at the dump site, how were you receiving fuel?
Because the machines cannot walk on the road or move on the roads because they will spoil the road. So they gave me vouchers, or how do you call them? Coupons.
Coupons, yes.
The stores will get the coupons to the garage or to the petrol station,
Yes,
fill the 20-liter drums,
yes,
and my driver will carry those drums to the side
right.
and pour it inside the machine.
Now, what is the procedure for you to go and get these coupons? Who do you specifically get these coupons from?
I only make a request to my line manager because there is a need to dress in the quarry for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, or 8 days. And they will give it to me in bits and pieces, drops, and then my driver will collect it, and we put it inside with the caterpillar drivers and the mechanics, and put there and keep the drums.
Do you sign any way book or any register, fuel register, when you are being given this fuel?
I cannot remember.
You cannot remember doing that. Do you account for how you spend this fuel that was given to you?
As I have said, when the storekeeper provides the coupons,
Yes.
they are not sometimes even given to me. Most of the time, it's not even given to me.
Yes.
It's given to the petrol station people
Yes.
who will put the petrol in the 20-liter drums inside my vehicle pickup. And the driver will drive that pickup to the dump site
Yes.
to pour these 10, 20 liters, or 20 liters, 10 of them, or 5 of them, or 15 of them, depending on if I'm using both machines or whether I'm using one machine.
Yeah. Yes.
And pour it inside.
But either or you are the one giving this petrol, this fuel, whether it's through someone else or through
No,
staff that work under you, you ultimately have receipt of this fuel.
I could say 100% of the time I was aware and verified the receipts of them.
Yes. We know the storekeeper had said that.
I know there are not one storekeeper or the assistants. I know a couple of them.
Maybe you had something else different. I didn't ask the question yet. I said the storekeeper was called, and then he explained the process of issuing coupons. And people that are, have vehicles that are allocated coupons, they will have to go and sign against their allocation and their name, against the vehicle and details, and then they are issued coupon. But you were not doing that. You had a different arrangement altogether.
I don't know whether I have a different agreement or
Yeah.
I do sign it later.
But not at the storekeeper.
I do sign even my personal coupon. Sometimes I'll be issued with a ticket and they will send it to me at the dump site.
On the dump site.
Later, I go back. If I go to the storekeeper is very good in chasing me to sign there.
For your personal fuel, but not for the trucks.
Yes. But even for the truck, maybe I'll send my driver, or maybe I'll sign it myself at a later date.
You had been given a certain amount of money, worth of coupons, about $672,950. Yes, I mean, it's in your statement as well, in relation to the fuel that you have received. Do you have any form of retirement or any form of records at the level of the dump site to ascertain as to how this fuel were used?
No.
Why?
I do not.
Why is that?
I do not think I should keep any record. I think the records are there already. That's how you get this machine, not from me.
No, how I got it?
Sorry, Council. I'm being told that time is up. GRTS has taken the signal. We may rise and come back after lunch break.